to another edition of Shed Talk, my magazine type video series that looks at all things Exhibition Budgerigar, including the keeping, breeding and showing of them. Well, just a quick update following the last video. I'm pleased to say that all of the finches have settled into their new flight. There were no losses and they're all finding their way around nicely. They found the drinkers, found the seed, so hopefully all okay with the finches. I'm also pleased to say that there were no major issues with the fireworks going off on firework night and Halloween and etc. and all those other times. So that's the good news. So in this video what we're going to do is revisit the breeding pairs. We'll take a look at the 4 or 5 initial pairs that we put down, see how they're getting on, see which are doing what and which if any of those pairs we might need to split, and then we'll also follow up by looking at the rest of the pairs that we'll be looking at putting down. Of course, with the new pairs we may have to wait in terms of putting them together, because there's a few of them that will be out at a final show that I'm doing. One other thing before we do that, I've recently had a few problems with just a couple of birds, not very many, a couple of birds in the breeding cages with some quite loose drop-ins. You may see this in the video when I show you some of the birds in the breeding cages. I've put this down to a batch of soft food that I made, the last batch of soft food that I made in fact, that was slightly damper than I normally use, so slightly more moist than I normally would use. So what I've done is, first of all, I've added some more rolled oats to that soft food to try and firm it up a little bit, to dry it out a little bit. And the second thing I've done is those birds with the loose drop-ins have either been removed from the breeding cages and given a little bit of time on their own to recover, or alternatively I've reduced the amount of soft food or reduced all of the soft food they're getting, so stopped providing it in the breeding cage just for a few days, just until the drop-ins look firm again. I'm thinking that's what it is, hoping that's what it is. It's only a couple of birds, so, and I'm certainly hoping it's not a major problem. As always, a big thank you to those of you who subscribe to the channel, and also those who like the videos, and of course those who take the time to comment on the videos. If you're not a subscriber, then please do hit the subscribe button now, and of course if you do enjoy the videos, then hit the like button. Don't forget, if you want early notifications of any of the videos, then you need to hit the bell icon, and that will give you those early notifications. Right, let's get on and look at those breeding pairs. So let's start off with pair 1 that are actually in cage 4, and this is an opaline cinnamon sky blue cockbird. This was one of the outcrosses, if you may remember, and it's paired to one of my young hens, which is a yellow face opaline cinnamon grey. They cleaned, so the hen went in, cleaned the nest box, started to lay. Cockbird doing lots of feeding of the hen, lots of chasing around of the hen. Unfortunately, all of the eggs that were laid, which was a total of 8 eggs in this nest box, all of them were clear. So clearly either the hen wasn't quite in condition, or the cockbird wasn't, or perhaps the hen went down too early. I don't know, we'll have to find out. My plan here is, what I'm currently doing with this nest box is I'm removing the eggs one every 2 days. I'm down to the last egg in here, so once I've removed that last egg, I will give the nest box a clean, refill it, and then put it back on. What I will then do as well at the same time is get both the birds out and retrim the vents, just to make absolutely certain that it's not a feather issue, it's not too much feather on either the cockbird or the hen bird. So that will happen as soon as I remove the last egg, which will be probably tomorrow or the day after. So there we are, not the best start, or a reasonable start I suppose you could say, for pair 1, in that at least we've got eggs of them. All we need now is the cock to start filling them. So I'll let these birds go at least one more round, in the hope that we get some full eggs. If we do, they'll probably get the 3rd round. So that is pair 1 that's in cage 4. So this is my pair number 2, which were in cage 5, the opaline grey outcross that sat at the front, and at the back is another an opaline grey-green hen, which is a young hen. This pair have shown no interest whatsoever in each other in the cage. The hen, as you can probably see, looks like she's in good breeding condition. However, just recently, the last 2 days, I've noticed that she's got some rather loose drop-ins, so it may be that she's actually under the weather. So I'm going to split this pair now. Cockbird will remain in the breeding cage, and I'm going to try and find him another hen, and the hen will go into a cage on her own and hope that she will recover from whatever it is, the upset stomach that she's got. So that's my plan for this pair. I'll just see if I can get the cockbird to move across. There you go. That's my plan for this pair. So sad really, because I quite like the look of this pair. I think they did complement each other quite well, but there you go. Better off splitting them now, as soon as the hen gets a little bit poorly, I'll give her a chance to fully recover. So that's my plan for pair 2. Split it. And moving on then to pair 3, which were in cage 4. Once again, as you can see, these two birds do show a lot of interest in each other. So light green, my light green cock on the right, and a cinnamon sky hen on the left. Unfortunately, you probably know, those of you that watch the channel for a little while, this outcross hen has never bred anything for me. So and no matter which cock I put her with, she does all this, lots of interest, but absolutely nothing else. So no breeding, won't let the cock tread her. She does have a look in the nest box, but nothing other than that. Cockbird is quite clearly in breeding condition, so my plan again with this pair is to put this hen back in the flight. I ain't going to try her with another bird, but I am going to try this cockbird with another hen, given how desperate he seems to be to go down to breed. So that's my plan with this pair. Unfortunately, this hen just doesn't want to go into the breed, just doesn't want to breed at all. So like I say, lots and lots of cockbirds have been tried, but nothing. So there we are. So that's the second pair that I plan to split. So pair 2 I've just said I'm splitting, and pair 3 I'm going to split as well. So that is the last of the pairs that I'm going to split. You may be pleased to hear. So at least we're the next pairs are looking a bit more hopeful, or the last pairs that we put down of the first few pairs that we put down. So pair 3, cage 4, to be split. So it's a little bit disappointing with pair 2 and pair 3, but better off splitting them now and giving the cockbird another chance with a hen. So that's my plan. The hen that was poorly in pair 2, once she's looking better, I'll give her a couple of months. Perhaps after Christmas we'll try her with another cockbird when she's fully recovered from her upset stomach, and maybe she's a little bit older and just maybe a little bit more ready to go down to breed. So this brings us on to my pair 4, which are in cage 6, down below there. So the one with the darker of the nest boxes on there. This pair then is an opaline cinnamon sky cockbird, which is one of my cockbirds, and it's paired to an outcross opaline cobalt. You might remember this was a pair that when I put these together originally, the cockbird that was originally paired with this hen was a little bit poorly, and I took him out and so to recover, and I put another cockbird in there, in with this one, another one of my cockbirds in with this outcross hen. Almost straight away were together and bonded really quickly. Hen cleared the nest box really quickly, and in fact this was the first pair that started to lay. They've laid a total of 7 eggs, this hen. Unfortunately, again, a bit like the first pair we looked at, all the eggs are clear. And it may well be that they went down, or the hen went to nest a bit too quick when I put the new cockbird in there. So again, with this pair, I'm gradually removing the eggs. I think there are 2 left in this particular nest box. So my plan with like with the other pair is I'm removing those. Once I've removed all of the eggs, nest box will get cleaned, refilled, and both the cock and the hen will be have their vents trimmed again, and we'll let them go for a second round. And hopefully, a bit like pair 1, hopefully this time we'll get a few full eggs off of these. So you know, the cockbird and the hen are very compatible. So I'm touch wood, we will get some full eggs off of this particular pair. So that was realistically, that was the first, or really that was the first 4 pairs that we put down. We put another pair down a couple of weeks later, which is pair 5, and they're in cage 1, and we'll have a quick look at that pair now and see how they're getting on. So moving on to pair 5, which is a relatively newish pair. I think they've been down for a couple of weeks. This is a Sky Cinnamon cockbird paired to a Sky Opaline Cinnamon hen, paired up reasonably well, fairly compatible. I've seen the cockbird feeding the henbird. Henbird is clearing the nest box and is spending a lot of time in the nest box, and we're just starting to see those biggish poos on the bottom of the oh, if I say that, biggish poos, that was a rather strange one. So biggish poos on the bottom of the cage, which is always a sign that the hen, it looks like she's about to start laying. So I'm hoping at the next update for breeding pair update, we'll have some eggs in this nest box, and touch wood, this will be the first pair that will get some full eggs off of. I'm really hopeful. So that's the new pair, so pair number 5. That's all of the pairs that we've got down. So we've currently still got 3 pairs down. 2 of the first group of pairs have now been split, and we've just got the cockbirds in the cage. So what about the final 5 pairs that I'm looking to put down? We'll have a quick look at those now. So this here then is my pair number 7, the light green cockbird on the right, and an opaline light green cinnamon hen on the left. This cockbird is raring to go, he's bouncing around. When I put the hen in the cage with him just a second ago, he was all over her. Unfortunately, she's still very nervous, young bird, and was having none of it at the time. But I'm hoping as they settle down, I'm going to pop these straight into the cage. This cockbird was going to go out to one of the shows, but unfortunately, as you can probably see, he's dropped a number of tail feathers, so no point in putting him out, so might as well go straight in the breeding cage. These 2 again, not too closely related. So the hen is actually off a better family than she might suggest. So I'm hoping this pair will produce some quite nice offspring. You notice the hen's got a very straight back and not the hinged tail that the cockbird's got. So again, I'm hoping she'll give him that, and I'm hoping she'll also add some spots to this cockbird. There we go. That's going to be pair 6, and they're going to go actually into cage 2. I'll pop them both into that cage now. As always, let me know your views. So this here is my pair 7. This is a young cobalt cockbird. This bird's off of one of my better lines. I quite like this bird. This is one of the birds that's going out to the show the weekend, so they won't be paired up straight away. And it's paired to a cinnamon light green hen that is a 2021 hen, has bred previously, so I'm hoping that she will produce some chicks off this cockbird for me. So I'm going to put the hen into the breeding cage now. They're going into actually breeding cage 10, which is one of the new breeding cages, the one I've been using as stock cages up to now. So she'll go straight in there. The nest box is on, sorry, it's actually cage 9. So the nest box is on but turned around, so she won't be able to go in it. And then I'll put the cockbird into it when he comes back from the show on Saturday evening. So like I say, this is my pair 7. As with all the other ones, let me know your views on this pair. They're not too closely related. I think they're about 3%, just over. They share about 3% of the same genes, so they've got some relationship. Hen looks like she's in reasonable condition. Cockbird has been, for a little while, has been performing in the stock cage with the other cockbirds, so, you know, doing the normal stuff of chatting to each other. So I'm hoping once they get into the breeding cage, they will go down reasonably quickly. So that is my pair 7. So this here is my pair number 8, both cinnamon grey greens. There's a little bit of a relationship between these two. So in terms of their shared genes, they share about 1/3 of their genes, so quite close for me. But having looked at what the offspring will share in total, the total genes of the offspring, it's only going to be about 17, 18% of their genes. So I'm reasonably happy that this pair can go together. So the cockbird is a this year bred bird. Was quite early bred, so is old enough to go into the breeding cage. I was going to put him out to the show, but as you can probably see, he's lost a tail, so has been going through quite a heavy molt, so but looks fine. And like I say, been chasing some of the other cockbirds around in the stock cage, so is quite clearly in condition. The hen, she looks a bit scruffy at the moment, but she's in reasonable condition. She's got a little bit of pin feathers on the head, and there was a little bit of bleeding earlier, so but she looks all right. She has been gnawing at the wooden perches in the stock cage, so I think she's about ready to go down. So she's a proven breeder, so I'm hoping that these two will breed quite reasonably for me. They are quite I've got some background relationship, as you can probably gather from the colour and the colour of them, but it's not so close that I wouldn't want to breed with them. So that will be my pair 8, and they're actually going into cage 10. So they can both go in together, because like I say, the cockbird that would have been out to a show had he been in condition, with him having dropped 2 tail feathers, or the 2 tail feathers just growing back, he definitely can't go out. Brother, that you'll see in a minute, will be going out to the show, which I don't think is quite as good as this one, but there you go. So that's going to be pair 8 in cage 10. So now we're moving on to pair 9. The cockbird is on the right, so the cinnamon grey green, this, as I say, is the brother of the one bird we just looked at that has already gone into the breeding cage. This one is going out to the show, although he's missing a couple of flights on both wings, so don't expect him to do too well, but I'm going to put him out anyway, give him a bit of experience. Quite a nice looking bird. Again, was early bred 2022, so coming into condition now, just about ready to go into the breeding cage. The hen is a 2021 bred hen, and is a yellow face grey, as you can see. She is just coming into breeding condition, so I'm hoping that once I get these two in the breeding cages, it will help stimulate her to bring her back in, or bring her fully into breeding condition. These two are quite closely related, but on one side. So the hen, so both of these have got the same great grandfathers and grandmothers, so that's why they appear quite close. But on the other side, if that makes sense, so on the cockbird side, they are not too closely related, so I'm not too bothered that they're quite close. And what I will do, and I think I said this in an earlier video when we were looking at pairing up, what I will do is make sure that any offspring for these are sort of outcrossed, or put back into a line that they're not too closely related to. So, or birds that they're not very closely related to, or not related to at all. So this is going to be my pair 9, and we'll just have one more pair to look at. I'm going to pop the hen into the breeding cage, but the cockbird, as I say, has still got to go out to a show. So once he comes back again on Saturday night, he can go straight in with her. So the final pair we're going to look at, so what will become my pair 10, is this opaline cinnamon grey cockbird. This is a 2020 bird, bred last year. Again, he's going to go out to the show this weekend, so he's not going to go straight into the breeding cage. He's done well on the show bench for me this year, so not winning any major awards, but certainly constantly competing reasonably well in his class. The hen is a this year's hen, a dark green normal, and she is very early bred, so ready to go in, ready in condition. Does have a fault of the hinge tail, and I'm hoping that that won't come out in the offspring. Cockbird doesn't, so touch wood. I'm hoping that isn't going to be too bad. Sometimes when she relaxes, you hardly notice it at all. At the moment, with her pulling a little bit, having just gone into the show cage, you can see it in its extreme form. So yeah, so this will become my pair 10, and they're actually going to go into, I think it's cage 7, but like I say, they won't go in until, well, she'll go in now, but the cockbird won't go in until he comes back from the show again on Saturday. So all the cockbirds, most of the cockbirds won't go in until the Saturday. There we go, that's the final pair to be paired up. All I've got to do now is find some new hens for the two cockbirds that are in cage 4 and cage 5. So that will be a job for next week, I think, and perhaps we'll have a look at those at the next breeding update. So there we go, I'll get these out and pop these into their various cages. Well, that's all of the birds now in the various breeding cages, as you can probably see, all apart from those few cockbirds that are still in a stock cage, waiting to go out on the show tomorrow. Just in case any of you are thinking I'm been breaching the latest guidance from the BS around showing birds in videos that are about to go out to a show that may influence the judge. This video isn't going to go out, isn't going to be uploaded to the channel until actually the morning of the show. So the morning of the show is when the video will go up. I doubt very, very much whether the judge will have any chance of looking at this video and seeing the birds. So I'm hoping I'm not breaching that latest guidance. So there we go, that's just about all we've got time for in this video. Like I say, if you enjoy them, please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. But until the next time, of course, please do stay safe and enjoy your birds.